This is the RiverHawks SportsNest podcast, talking all things NSU Athletics. I'm Sean Solo.
And I'm Captain Morgan.
Brought to you by
NSU Athletics, Precision Consulting Group,
and DJ Sean Solo Entertainment. The RiverHawks SportsNest is a Rogue Radio Network production.
You can like, follow, share, and enjoy the show. You can listen to RiverHawks SportsNest on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon Music.
Are you hungry or want to hang out for a cold brew with your friends? Emery's Grill has a wide selection of amazing food and drinks for everyone.
Emery's Grill, the captain's favorite, is a proud sponsor of the RiverHawks SportsNest and a supporter of NSU Athletics. So make your way downtown to Emery's Grill, located on 407 North Muskogee Avenue.
Go RiverHawks! Red light 1, red light 2. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the RiverHawks SportsNest. This is episode 502. I am Sean Solo.
And I'm Captain Morgan.
And of course, we have our third member of the SportsNest team, Orry the Voice Phillips.
Great to be here, guys.
Hey. Of course, we want to thank, we'll thank them in a minute. But we are at Emery's Grill in downtown Tahlequah. We want to thank Emery's for hosting our show during the season. Our show is recorded every Monday night at 6 p.m. We'd like to encourage everyone to hang out and watch the show in person. And, of course, you can always catch the latest episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon, or watch the episodes on the Rogue Radio Network YouTube channel. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at rh.sportsnest. Of course, it helps us reach out to the RiverHawk Nation.
Absolutely, Sean. And the purpose of our show is to highlight NSU athletics to the community and introduce vice versa, so the community they can come here and ask questions if they like, and we can get the information out to them as well. And I'll proceed, a portion of the proceeds go directly back to the NSU athletics program. So we've got some upcoming schedule next Monday. Exciting. We're going to have women's tennis coach Tim McLean on with his new assistant coach, Anais Peralta, freshman Daisy Barrow, and sophomore Camila De Micheli. The week after, though, we have our new men's tennis coach, Tim McLean.
Another Tim McLean?
Yeah,
or the same
another
one?
Tim, same one.
Okay.
And he's going to be on with James Edley and Tomas Arambaru, both sophomore transfers. That's what we've got going on for the next 3 weeks. I think we're going to come up with some basketball the next few weeks thereafter. Obviously, we won't have football anytime soon because...
Yeah, Darren Cheverini's show, you might have heard of it, Season 2. It kicks off this week. We're recording on Monday, the 18th. We're going to tape the first episode of Season 2 Wednesday, the 20th, 7 p.m., Emery's Grill, and it'll be airing on Friday, the 22nd, on the official radio home of NSU Athletics. Lakes Country 102.1, we're going to be talking all about the team, how they look going into the season, and breaking down a first-time ever matchup against Saginaw Valley State. That will kick off at 5 p.m. week from Thursday on August the 28th. Excited about that.
Well, like I said, this is episode 502, but tonight's show is the official introduction of our new head coach for your RiverHawks softball team, Cassidy Bowen. Yay. We also have our new assistant coach, Mackenzie Donihoo. Yay. And as always, we have, of course, our lovely athletic director, John Sisemore, joining the show. You get some claps, too.
I would clap harder, but I don't want to shake the table.
Thank you. It's very fragile over here. Well, let's just dive into it. John, we've always kind of semi-joked over the past couple of years about, wanting to bring in coaches that have a certain work ethic and blue-collar style, attitude into NSU programs. So what stood out to you about Cassidy that you knew that she would be a great fit for our program?
Well, a lot of things stood out. I had a little bit of connection with her father from his coaching in Northwest Arkansas, and I had a little bit of relationship with him. And he had actually picked up the phone, called me one day and said, hey, you're looking for a coach, and you might pay attention to my daughter. She could be a good one. I'm not real sure yet. But anyway, so I said, yeah, I'll pay attention. And I knew her former coach at Tulsa, and then I also coached and mentored some of the coaches at Tulsa that had been there. And so I had a little bit of connection, and so I started picking up the phone, just calling people and going, hey, what about Cassidy? What can you tell me? And then after I got all the feedback, I was like, all right, I better pay attention to this one. So
Nice.
Well, Coach, I'm going to kind of move over to you, following up after John there. Congratulations for coming here, for your hiring here. And I know the last couple weeks you've been busy moving up here from Texas, so kind of tell me about your transition up here, what it's been like, and then, what does it feel like to return to your home state here at NSU as a head coach?
Yeah, I'm super excited about the opportunity to come back to my home state. I've been in Houston for the past 10 years, and just overwhelming gratitude for the opportunity to come back and develop and lead a program in my home state that, I owe it to this part of the country and the people that I was mentored under here to have this opportunity today. So I'm super excited just grateful.
How about your move up here? Moves are always stressful, but just, a little personal there. How was that?
The move was stressful. We were moving between Austin and Houston, actually, and then to Tahlequah, so it was a couple stops along the way. But we made it. Everything has been smooth so far, so we're glad to be here.
That's good. Welcome to Tahlequah.
I hate moving. Oh, my God.
Absolutely. We'll keep going down the table here to Mackenzie. So I want to know from you, how do you get in touch with Cassidy about this position, and what stood out about you so far in your interactions with her?
So I was actually doing hair, and I had been watching the College World Series, and I just was like, oh my gosh, I miss it. I have so much knowledge that I could give back. And so then I started looking for jobs, and I talked to Cassidy, and our energy was about the same, about how passionate we were with softball and how much we want to give back to the sport, and yeah.
So going back to you, Cassidy, I want to talk about softball in the state of Oklahoma. Everybody knows. I remember how it was a few months ago during Crawfish. Everybody's watching Sooners. Softball here is huge in the Sooner State, and obviously that trickles down to the type of talent right here in our backyard. We'll just start with a simple question here. What makes Oklahoma such a talent-rich state in the sport?
Man, I think that you've got, obviously, the program at the University of Oklahoma sets the standard so high. And I think that you have youth and high school kids that aspire for that standard, just, as very young kids. And they put in the dedication and discipline to try to attain that level. And anything that gets them close is obviously going to be great. You're also able to play for such a long period throughout the year here that there's not, you don't have the weather as an excuse where it's too cold, or I would argue that it might be too hot today, but you're able to get out and do it almost year round here.
So early on into your time here leading the program, you know what it's like playing in this state, I'm sure recruiting in this state as well. But leading the RiverHawks, what's the vision you're selling to the talents you're talking to? Because you got to compete with some great programs, historically dominant programs in this state, which we'll get to later, including within this own conference. What are you telling them to separate the green and white from the rest of the pack?
I think our leadership is, the big selling point for us right now. We've obviously got a huge addition to our staff in Mackenzie. This is somebody who's played at the University of Oklahoma, who's played at the University of Tennessee, who's contended for national titles. At Tulsa, I played, we were in the top 25 in my time there. We understand what it takes to go be competitive and win, and we are prepared to bring that and challenge our team with that this year.
I'm going to bounce back to what Coach Sisemore said a while ago. And since Coach Sisemore's been here, he's been bringing in some good talent to coach the team. So this is a very nice addition with both of you. So that's pretty cool. And it goes back to, as Director Sisemore said, with your dad having a little bit there. Give us a little history about what your dad did, and then about what you learned from him, and how that kind of, that family culture, with how that goes. I'm going to kind of piggyback off of Orry into the recruiting and what you're doing, because, you've seen it. I'm sure he's being raised, and you were recruited yourself. So kind of tell me how that process, what you're kind of looking at with that.
Sure. So I played for my dad in high school at Grove and then Claremore. We played in a couple state tournaments through my time under him. He continued on in Oklahoma for several years after that, contended for several more state titles, and then moved over to Arkansas. I'm really excited about the presence that he has in Arkansas that we'll be able to draw from a recruiting standpoint, and then also, obviously, the presence that I had at one point here in Oklahoma, and then we've established a network in Houston as well that I think will be an advantage for us recruiting from that area. But, man, I'll tell you, as I was raised and as I was coached, we were hammered on discipline, hard work, no quit, be tough, and it works. It just works. It pays off. You build competitive, high-character kids under that model, and that's what we intend to bring in demand from our roster this year.
I think that's well said. That's well said.
Well, and this this question is for both of y'all. So obviously the softball program has had several changes over the past few seasons, and you've had some players now having played for multiple coaches. What has been your message to the players currently to challenge them and keep them focused going to a whole new culture, a whole new regime?
Sure. We're really excited to bring the returners back and see what they can do. We feel like we've brought in a mix of kids with our transfers as well that are going to push those kids to take it to a level that they didn't get to last year. We're excited to see the kids go compete this fall, to see who are going to be our 9 or 10 on the field when we write lineups.
I'm going to kind of kick it back over to you, Mackenzie. What kind of, I'm going to go back to the recruiting. You've been through it, obviously, with the schools you were at. So tell me about your experiences, your recruitment, and then what you can bring to the table here at NSU.
I'm looking for some blue-collar kids, someone that's going to not eat dirt but get with the dirt and not be afraid to play hard and to give them their all even when they're not wanting to show up for practice. So I'm just looking for people that are going to get after it and always give me my 110%.
All right. Tell me about your experience in the colleges where you played and where you played.
So I played at Oklahoma, and it's very blue-collar. You're going in there every single day giving your 110%, and it's the same thing with Tennessee. When you play at a Division I level, you're playing with the best. So you have to come in there and, be the best.
That's what I've heard. Never experienced it, but that's what I hear.
Or we'll keep going here.
Okay, so we had to do this with Kyle a couple weeks ago. I'll call this the painful numbers segment. We had to go down the list because ultimately there's a reason why we kind of hit the restart button when it comes to coaching personnel. So we got to go over some painful numbers here. And I would say even more so with softball than baseball, the competition, it's very fierce inside of this state, inside of our own league. And I'm talking about our two least favorite teams.
Ugh.
You can say it, the team out west.
The team
UCO,
out west.
and our good buddies up in Claremore Rogers State. Going down with some of these numbers, UCO, 52 wins last year, 2 regional and conference titles in the last 3 seasons, national postseason appearances in 6 straight seasons excluding 2020. 13 of the last 15 seasons, they've also made the national postseason. Their record against us in that span, 36-7. RSU, 8 straight winning seasons. Record against us during that span, 14-2. They won a national title 3 or 4 years ago. For us, meanwhile, 25 wins in the last 2 seasons, lowest in a 2-season span in over 20 years, have missed the MIAA postseason 3 straight seasons. We have not won inside the tournament since 2019, have not made a regional since our lone appearance in 2007. Ultimately, I want to get your thoughts, Cassidy. What makes UCO and Rogers State so dominant at this level? What do you think of their successes, and what do you think we need to do to catch up? Because it seems like we have a lot of work to do.
I mean, obviously success breeds success, right? They have a recruiting advantage because they already go win. But what I'll tell you about our staff is we're not afraid to go work, and we know what it takes to go compete and to go win. And all we can do is take care of what we have in front of us today, and that's what we're going to do to put us in a position to go compete with those guys come spring.
Absolutely.
Well said. Well said. I'm going to kind of go back to your college playing there. So you had a standout career there at TU, as you had mentioned you were up there. The question I had kind of lined up for you was like your playing style, which was obviously hard-nosed, and that's what you're going to be doing as you, obviously with both of you, as you're recruiting and playing there. But as you transition from your head coach as to a head coach from an assistant coach, I know that you probably had a different set of goals as an assistant coach, what were you doing day by day, and then now you're at the head coach option there, position. So tell me kind of what some changes there that you're going through right now, and I know it's going to be a learning curve a little bit for a while, but just tell me kind of the things you're going through.
Sure. At Concordia and Austin last year, I didn't have much of a presence on the recruiting front, really was probably the biggest difference. Our leadership there actually gave me quite a bit of reins with practice management and game management. So They actually had the winningest season in program history for their school last year, so that was cool to be a part of.
Absolutely.
But I have great staff underneath me that I trust to be able to delegate to. So I'm very excited about being able to go dive in with the pitchers and catchers and stay there and know that the outfield and the infield are taken care of and they're doing what they need to do to be great fundamentally for the time the ball's rolled out.
That sounds good. You're saying the right things. I think those would help.
I mean, she's already hired, so it's not like you're not in an interview.
No, but that would be good to see.
Not that type of interview.
That'd be good to see out there.
So being this first year with new recruits starting a new program, what's outside of the wins and losses, what are you kind of looking at for this first year? Like which are you going to deem being a successful season? I know everybody always looks at wins and losses, and the whole moral victory is not really, I don't want to rely on that, but what's kind of in your brain about that, about being a successful season?
I don't feel like the program is something that recruits have been excited about. And I think that if we go out and do what we need to do this fall and this spring, as far as developing the current players we have and making a wave in the MIAA, that we're going to be at a point next year at this time where people are excited to come on visits to NSU. They're going to be excited to come, have an opportunity to meet the staff, to meet the current players, and feel the culture that we're going to build here.
What kind of players are you bringing in right now? Some of the transfers, what kind of style players are they?
Tough, hard-nosed, gritty. We brought in a lot of girls that have huge offensive production and girls that are just athletic. We're going to out-athlete everybody around us this year.
I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah. So tell me about this year, where you're at. You're just starting out, but you want to go into some detail on what you've got on some of your recruits, like how many people you brought in, how many has actually stayed on the team or graduated or left or anything like that, some numbers?
Yep, so there are 13 that are returning, 5 incoming freshmen, and then we've got 18 transfers.
Oh, wow. You've been busy.
So 36 total on the roster.
Half the team incoming transfers.
Yeah, we're 50-50 split, yeah.
Okay. That'll be a different thing.
I do want to get your take then. What do you think about the dynamics? Because that's something we talk about a lot with some of the other coaches. I know Ferg infamously said last year half his team was freshmen. I think Ferg might have heard that. Half the team was freshmen, half the team was seniors. Created some interesting stuff. What do you think about not having maybe a lot of freshmen coming in, but a lot of players that know the drill, even if it's at another school?
I think it'll be huge for us bringing in that many transfers that are upperclassmen just to help set a standard. When you're bringing in older girls, they're obviously going to be more mature, and 2 of them have 2 years of playing experience under their belt where they understand what the grind is going to be. And a big part of that number, they're coming from JUCO, and that's an entirely different lifestyle. So this is going to be a breath of fresh air for them where they know the time limit that they're going to work every day. And you can put a 4-hour time limit on me and I can give you everything I have because it's not 6 or 8 hours. So I think that'll be huge for us, just having, a more mature presence in the locker room than you do with a large freshman class.
Well, one thing we certainly know is that JUCO builds character because pretty much everything that goes into it, you got to do it yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think it's great we got those types of players. I want to go to John. Anytime we bring in a new coach, there's always a wave of discussion. I think a lot of this surrounding Cassidy has been very positive. I would say locally especially, it's been very exciting, encouraging to see. People are not just excited that we're shifting gears a little bit with the program, but also because we're bringing somebody who is so successful in their playing career just an hour down the road at Tulsa, someone so successful there and with so much promise as well as a coach here. What would you describe the local enthusiasm as right now for this new era of RiverHawks softball?
I think that it's a lot of positive feedback. And this is a softball area, and there's so many people that understand the game and get that it's a huge drive for people in our local area. Softball's huge. Oklahoma was one of the first states that ever had fast pitch. That's the reason it's grown so fast over the years, because all the girls who went back into the system are now coaches, where the other states were so far behind, but they don't have that talent level to coach and come back in as early as what Oklahoma's done over the years. And I was fortunate. I played the game at the highest level as a men's fast pitch player. And then I got to coach at the highest level, and I got to coach on the U.S. national team, the junior national team, and I was a pitcher and was involved a lot in it and raised 3 daughters in it as well. And so it's a passion of mine. I love the sport. I was fortunate enough to be involved in the Arkansas turnaround, and I understand kind of what it takes, that mentality. We end up beating the top 4 teams in the country. They'd won 5 games previous the year before, and we beat UCLA, and we beat Georgia and Alabama. And anyway, long story short, it's just, we were put in a situation a couple years ago where we had a longtime coach leave at the last wakening hour, and we didn't have any options at that time to move forward. And so we didn't get to go through the recruiting process like we did now. And I had a chance to really evaluate and look what would be our fit and have a great pool to evaluate from, and Cassidy rose completely to the top. And most of that was because I had connections with her coaches and people that were around her, and I could dive into her character, and that's the main thing. And, she has the knowledge, she has the character, she has a work ethic, and she knows it as well as her assistant coach knows it. In the state of Oklahoma, it's a big deal, and we're in a hotbed for softball, and we need people that understand that and can develop it and can take this NSU program to the level that it needs to be.
So, Director Sisemore, I'm going to stay with you on the recruiting. You're recruiting the coaches coming in. So I know with Coach Bowen coming in, you had a lot of applications you have to go through. So can you tell me about your process kind of on that? When you start going through and you get, inundated with applications, you start making phone calls for references. Is that kind of where you start? Or tell me your process on that.
Yeah, so I learned a lot from some of my mentors. I had the opportunity to go work with Coach Murphy at Alabama, and then one of the old great coaches way back a long time ago at LSU, and then Gasso tried to hire me. And so I had a lot of good people that I was around. I learned some things. And in the recruiting process, we look for the character things, and they're going to go look for those things as well. And they tell you about the blue-collar people that they're bringing in to build a foundation with. And it's no nonsense. And I learned a lot of things over the years. And being able to coach on the national team, I learned from some folks that are doing it at the highest level. And so I took that knowledge and I just kind of apply it as best I can. We have conversations, and even if we have conversations today, our conversations are pretty no nonsense. She calls me and she says, all right, we got an issue. Let's see, what's the solution? And I'm pretty blunt and it's to the point, and that's how we run our programs here. It's blue collar. We don't have a lot of money. It's a state school that's not well funded. We have a large footprint that just doesn't have a lot of resources, and it has nothing to do with the institution. It's just the makeup. We're a teacher's college, blue-collar teacher's college. We don't put out doctors and lawyers every single day that can give back millions of dollars to the program. It takes nothing but hard work and dedication, and I know what that feels like to turn programs around because I've been there, and I've seen it, and I've done it, and been a part of it. And you have to have people that understand that, and she gets it, she understands it, and she's going to work her butt off to change this program. And it's going to happen in a hurry, I can assure you, because she's got a coach beside her and a whole entire staff that get that, and they have a heart for it, and they're going to work their butts off, and they have the knowledge. And if they don't have it, they're going to find somebody that does. So.
Well, Coach Bowen, go ahead and shout out to who all your assistants are. Who else helping you? I know we've got Mackenzie here, but you've got some other people.
Yep, so I've got Mackenzie who's sitting here with me today. I've also got Macy Taylor, who was a GA last year. She's been incredible, such a huge blessing with her on the staff. I've got Kylie Pavlicek, who actually played for me at Concordia last year. She was an infielder there, so she came up with me from Texas. And then I've got my husband, Sean Grenier, on staff with me as well. He was at several schools in Houston with me and the school in Austin with me as well. And then we'll get to see a little bit of my dad as well, which I'm excited about.
Secret weapon.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's quite a staff there. Yeah, I'm a little more excited, seeing everything, talking with you, because I've only read about things, but it's good to talk to you and get the excitement with you as well.
Actually, I have a whole coaching staff. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a quick break. We'll have a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back right here in the RiverHawks Sports Nest.
This is Captain Morgan from the RiverHawks SportsNest. If you're launching a startup or need help dialing in your sales and marketing, you need precision consulting. We help businesses grow with real strategies that get results. No fluff, just precision. Reach out directly to RiverHawks SportsNest on Facebook or Instagram for a free consultation. Ask for the captain.
Hey, this is Sean Solo. Are you in need of a professional DJ with over 20 years experience? Look no further than DJ Sean Solo Entertainment. I can help make your special event exciting and memorable for you and your guests. For information and booking, please contact DJ Sean Solo 72 on Facebook or Instagram. And as always, may the beats be with you. Well, welcome back for another segment of the RiverHawks Sports Nest. Again, I'm Sean Solo.
And I'm Captain Morgan.
And I'm the voice.
So we've got, we want to hit both of y'all since you all former players. So we want your best story, playing story, from when you were at OU playing for Patty and anything else interesting. So let's get, not necessarily get dirt, but what's your most favorite story or moment that you had when playing as a player?
Man, my senior year, we were supposed to play Louisiana Lafayette on midweek game, and we woke up to a text message that ULL couldn't come to us anymore because of weather, and hey, you're going to play number 1 Oklahoma instead.
Ouch.
No, not ouch. Like, you get to go. You
Yeah.
get to go compete. And we weren't competitive that night. We played Oklahoma, obviously, every year that I was there and upset them probably twice in my career. But just the opportunity to go get to do that, right? Like,
Right.
ULL wasn't ranked. We weren't excited about that game, or I wasn't. But for the opportunity, like, hey, you get to go play the best. And it was later in the season, so it was an opportunity to go get prepared before you go into the regional tournament. So, man, that was a big game for us. And again, I don't remember anything from that game particularly, but just to not be able to mentally prepare for what you were going into and it be dropped on you, like, just, you got to go.
Just
You
have to
gotta
go play.
compete.
That's
yeah,
it.
go compete.
Right? How about you, Mackenzie?
So I have a lot of games, but something that stood out to me is when I was in Tennessee, we had to scrub our own pants. And that's the most memorable thing that that we had, like, that I've gone through, because, you know, when I played at Oklahoma, we didn't do anything. And then when I went to Tennessee, it was, you scrub your pants, you scrub your cleats, you scrub everything. So that has stuck with me forever.
So then you must have like a really good like laundry regiment and stain remover
You do
recipe.
not slide if you don't have to. You don't slide. You don't touch the dirt unless you have to.
Oh, well, I'm going to go back. I've got a question for each of you there. So, Coach Bowen, I know that you did some cool things in when you played some ball. You might have thrown some people out or something like that. You have a little. Can you kind of share what you did?
Man, nothing was more exciting to me than somebody getting on first base.
Yeah.
It was almost like a dare.
So I'll clear it up. You played catcher.
I was a catcher.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was a catcher. My senior year, I played third base for them actually my freshman year, so I caught my sophomore through senior year. But I was tied for the runners thrown out stealing record, but I had set the runners picked off record, so it was like an ongoing joke that, hey, you gotta like stop picking people off so then you can go set the runners thrown out stealing. But I tried to be crafty, like fake bobble a ball, like, is she gonna go? Is she gonna go?
Yeah.
But,
Well, I
Bait
look,
them into it. Nice.
I look forward to seeing that kind of reflect on the catchers this year. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm excited to work
some
with our
expectations
catchers.
there. You know, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Mackenzie, let me ask you. So you said you went to OU and then Tennessee.
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about that transition. You don't have to go into why you did it, but or anything like that. But just tell me like the difference that you saw in those programs, other than just having to do your own laundry there at Tennessee.
All right, so at OU, it's very blue collar, fast paced. Everything is, you know, go, 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 go. And then when I went to Tennessee, it was more of me showing them a lot of things that I did at Oklahoma, so that I could give them a better opportunity to go and play in the College World Series. So we changed kind of the dynamic of how we practice at Tennessee and be a lot faster. So a lot of fungo base running, which is where there's a whole defense and then you have just runners, and who's ever hitting the softball just, hits it, and then everyone's just going as fast as they can. So kind of just having a fast pace of, you don't know what's going to happen, you just better be ready to go.
You got to be able to react.
Yes.
Train those reaction muscles.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what kind of gave you the buzz about maybe getting into coaching, because you enjoyed given those aspects and
Oh
what
yeah,
you've learned?
I like to go pretty fast, and a lot of energy is where it is in my heart. I have a lot of energy, and I'd love to, pass that on to someone else so that they can feel the things that I feel, because it's an awesome feeling.
You good? All right.
I'm ready for the trilogy.
Yeah. All right. This is a fun segment. So nothing hard pressed as far as questions go. But this first part is called the Sean Silver Trilogy. You both get 3 questions. They are not Star Wars related. These are just questions to get to know y'all a little bit better, okay? So question 1. What is on your game day hype playlist?
You want me to go first? Okay, I like some rap, so probably some Young Boy.
Okay.
I have to keep it clean. I've got a 5-year-old, so we're all about that Christian rock
Oh, yeah?
pre-workout playlist.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, question 2. Now that you guys have come into Tahlequah, what's the first fun activity you've done since coming to Tahlequah, or what activity you have planned to do? So I know you all just got here a few weeks ago.
I got here on Monday.
Oh,
so
okay. Well,
just
then.
a couple days ago. Yeah. We actually took the whole team to, is it Eufaula?
Yes.
Eufaula on Friday. So
What'd
little
y'all-
lake
all right.
action.
What'd y'all do down there?
There's a
Okay, it's Yogi Bear, and we just decided, it's a little obstacle course on the lake, and it's a good way to have fun and let loose. And then there's also a pool, so it's fun.
All right, good bonding, good team time. All right, and the final question, what is your all-time favorite movie? Doesn't have to be sports. I love it. That was Coach Kyle's favorite movies. She said Bull Durham.
Bull Durham.
Love it.
Nice.
What about you, Mackenzie?
Mine's Where the Red Fern Grows.
We're in the right place for that.
Yeah, nice plug. I think there's a festival or something about that, too.
Something about that, yeah.
All right, Captain. It's on you, sir.
That conclude the trilogy?
That concludes the trilogy.
Okay, well, up next.
See, that wasn't so bad, was it? No.
Well, I'm going to say I had my questions set up, but they were for you, Coach Bowen. I'm sorry, Mackenzie, because I didn't find out until this morning you were going to be on.
It's okay.
All right, so this is the second segment where we call Walk the Plank with Captain Morgan. So let me get Captain Morgan here going, all right? I'm going to tell you the rules. All right, you scallywags, welcome aboard the USS RiverHawks SportsNest, where the seas be rough and the questions be tougher. This is here the part of the show where we call Walk the Plank. Coach, here's how it works. I'll be asking you a question to test your knowledge. If you get it right, you stay aboard with the crew, and you get a shot at the treasure map in a round we call X marks the treasure. But if you get it wrong, oh no, matey, over the side you go. That means you'll be taking a dip in the deep blue and facing a sink or swim question to see if you can claw your way back to this fine ship. So steady yourself, Coach Bowen. Are you ready to walk the plank?
I'm ready.
All right. This is going first with NSU. What year did NSU softball first reach the NCAA 2 tournament?
1998.
I'm going to give you multiple choice.
Oh, great.
Here we go. 05, 06, 07, or 08?
08.
Okay, so sorry, hope you can swim because you gotta walk the plank. But fear not, shipmate, the watermate down there. You can redeem yourself and swim on back. I'm gonna give you, this one's too easy. You're from Oklahoma, so. Let's go with history here. What U.S. president is on the $2 bill?
Franklin.
I didn't do a multiple choice for that one.
You can give Kinsey a chance.
Hey, yeah, you can answer that one, yes. Hey, what U.S. president is featured? You got to.
I have to answer
Well, you can help her out. She's got to get back on the ship. Come on now, the USS RiverHawks.
Hey, chat.
I'll say. Oh yeah, I should have done a multiple choice on that one. I'm sorry. I used to collect them when I was a kid, so it kind of went to me. But it's Thomas Jefferson who's on the $2 bill. But I do appreciate y'all playing, so that was good. I'm kind of add on to that, so I'll get a closing to that one good. But thanks for playing. I appreciate it. Welcome to Tahlequah, both of you. I'm glad y'all are here.
So what was your answer to the NSU softball reaching the first NCAA Division II?
2007.
Okay.
They reached, and then there's a little more history on this, but they joined Lone Star first, and then they went to the MIAA. And they was when I forget the year when they joined the Lone Star.
Lone Star was right around when they moved into the Division II. Previously, it was OIC. I will do a spoiler alert. Later this week, when we do rapid fire for the Coach Chev Show, one of the rapid fire questions is going to be, what is something about football or just athletics in general you want to bring back? My answer might be OIC, because I think that'd be cool to experience. OIC went away before I was born, but OIC, Lone Star, MIAA, and yeah, we're right there with the big boys. I do want to ask, by the way, one more thing.
Go ahead.
This is for Captain Morgan. Have you thought about putting those voiceover talents to work? I think if there's ever going to be a Pirates Caribbean animated movie,
well,
you got to audition.
Hey, I'm telling you, this is the first time I did the little act on it, so
Yeah, I was not prepared for the comedy portion of the show.
I know you're not, but
Here's the thing, though.
That's going to be.
Here's the thing. Like, I'm reading the script. Like, I printed it out, and I saw this, and I was thinking, oh, he's got to either nail this or this is going to be a disaster. I thought it was really good, and then you got the water sound effect that was cued perfect. I'm a fan.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
We
it.
might have to record that as an audio to drop that in. That'd be funny. We have to capture that moment. Of course, we do have it here, though.
Yep.
Well,
So,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, before we get off, is there anything y'all wanted that you were
Promote
expecting
anything,
out of this?
yeah.
Promote, say you wanted to say anything you thought you could ask that you didn't get asked, or
You
No,
got any
we're-
camps coming up or anything like that?
We're working on our camp schedule, so that'll get posted soon. But we're excited about the fall season, so come out and support.
All right.
And follow RiverHawks Softball on Instagram, by the way.
absolutely. And then your schedule is still getting all that stuff put together.
Our fall schedule will be posted tomorrow.
Okay, awesome.
Exciting stuff.
All right, Coach Sisemore,
No, looking forward to it. I'm excited. It's going to be fun times for softball.
how about you, Mackenzie? Parting words?
No, I'm just excited for this opportunity with the girls. And the
Yeah, everybody's super excited. We cannot wait. Cannot wait for softball season. So, ladies, I appreciate y'all being here. Coach Sizemore, appreciate you. Voice, captain,
Always a pleasure.
always a pleasure. Always a good time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the RiverHawks SportsNest podcast. We will see you next week. We are out. Bye-bye.